Hey guys, this is Matthew from Commercial Deal Junkie. I'm a commercial real estate investor and broker based out of Southern California, buying commercial property all around the country. So, this video is going to be about how I choose agents and brokers to do work for me in other states. I buy retail, industrial, multifamily property around the country, and whether I'm buying or selling or leasing a property, I have to hire a broker to go out and do those things for me. Now, that's actually a difficult thing to go out and find the right broker because let's say you're looking for a broker in Houston, Texas. I mean, there is hundreds of them. There's 50 pages of brokers, and I'm sure there's more once you get to 50. And these are brokers in the Houston market. So, how do you narrow it down to find someone that's actually going to do a good job for you, help you find properties to buy, help you sell your property, or help you lease your property? So, the example I'm going to do right now is I just purchased a building in Houston, Texas. It's a shopping center, and now I need to find a broker to lease that shopping center for me. So I'm going to go through the search for the first time here in front of you guys to show you what are the different things I look for when choosing a broker to hire. Okay. So the first thing I want to see is who is doing business, the type of business I need in that market. So I want another leasing broker that is doing leases near the property I'm doing. Why? Because they've already been on the phone with several tenants. They know who the players are in the industry, and they've been in the industry for a minute. So I'm going to look up retail for lease in 77088. I've narrowed it down to the zip code in which my property is. The thing is, if you just look up commercial leasing broker in Houston, Houston's a big city. You might find someone on the other side of Houston that's going to want to take the business so that they can try to lease it out. But, they're 40 minutes away. So showings, they're going to be less inclined to do showings. So I'm going to go to LoopNet. LoopNet's great. But here, see, LoopNet tries to take me back to 77088. So I'm going to go. So here's the property. This is actually my property here. So right now I have it listed myself, but this is just temporarily while I find a broker to come and take over this for me. I'm in Southern California. This property is in Houston. I'm not going to be doing showings for this property. So I'm looking for other brokers in the area, in the market to take this listing so they can actually start doing showings. So my property is right here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a radius here, or maybe draw something around here. So this is maybe a 2-3 mile radius around this property. Okay. So all these red dots are other listings in that market. Now I want to narrow it down to retail because that's my asset class. So I narrow it down to retail. Again, this is my listing. So I want to see, okay, this is not too far from my property. Let's see what's going on here. So here we have a retail center, similar build to mine, very similar to mine. These are the rents they're getting. Here we have Danny Mugen. And let's see, I want to see what other, so this is Danny, he has a listing near my property. So it'd be great for Danny to also have my listing. Why? Let's say someone comes up to this building and says, oh, I want to lease space here. I want to do X, Y, and Z. And Danny's like, actually, the spaces we have available are not a good fit for X, Y, and Z. Let's say someone wants to do a coffee shop and like, we already have a coffee shop in this building, but I have another listing a couple miles away, which is my listing in which a coffee shop would actually work. So he can use this building's advertising to bring tenants to my building and vice versa. If someone comes to my building and it's not a good fit, maybe there isn't enough parking for them, or we already have that concept, or whatever the reason is, he can go and suggest it to this plaza. So we actually benefit each other by being near each other. Yes, we compete, but at the end of the day, we're actually benefiting each other. So if a tenant comes and both works, then Danny can show both buildings, and then the tenant can make a decision which one's a better fit for them. But I want to make sure that Danny has multiple listing and has a history of doing business in this neighborhood. I don't want this to be the only listing he has ever had or has ever done. So just by Googling Danny's name, I could get back to LoopNet and I could see Danny's active listings. Yeah, this is all the stuff he's done, but this is Danny's active listings. So let's see what he has for lease here. I clicked on that on accident. For lease, so he has multiple shopping centers. Yeah, so Danny does a lot of shopping centers. So I actually really like Danny. He has a lot of shopping centers. He has listings right next to my property. So now I know there's a good likelihood that if I were to bring him on, and my property is right here. So even though he only has one other listing right here, he has experience doing shopping centers. Now, do I wish he had more in the specific northwest part of Houston where my property is? Yes, but it's not. You're never going to find the perfect broker for your property. So he has this one listing here that's near my property, and I also want to see what is the quality of this listing that he has up. Like, do I think he did a good job listing this property? He has. Looks like a lot of these are like closer to office because these rents are really low. Yeah, these rents are really low. So that's a concern of mine. Is he trying to list it at a really low rate just to lease stuff up as fast as possible, collect a commission check? Or is he actually going to fight to make sure I get the most rent possible? So it's kind of a red flag for me that he has pretty low rents in here. Maybe the landlord has instructed him, hey, I want you to fill this up as fast as possible. So I can't necessarily blame Danny, but maybe he's just trying to lease it out for the least amount of rent. And keep in mind, everything I'm saying here also applies for selling properties. If you're looking to find a broker to sell an asset for you, then you want to find out who has listings in that area. Are they listing it for a fair price? Did they do a good job on the listing? Everything I'm saying here applies. I just thought I'd do a leasing example because I'm currently at this point in time looking for a leasing broker to lease my shopping center in Houston. But everything I say applies for selling properties or even on and for purchasing properties if you're looking for a broker. Let's look at this flyer. Let's see how we did for the flyer. Okay, looks like a good flyer. Yeah, see, he did a decent job. These are the spaces that are available. Yeah, these will rent for typically the elbow in a shopping center. These spots right here in the elbow will rent for less. That's these right here. They'll rent for typically less, and then the more inline ones will rent for more. Oh, these units are also in really bad shape. So that kind of tells me why he's renting it for so low. Instead of the owner, maybe the owner would rather get less rent and then spend the few, 150,000 it's going to cost to make this like a white box shell space. Even though they did a great job on the exterior, if they just spent a little more on the interior, they could get quite a bit more rent. So that tells me why. I mean, look at the condition of these units. That's telling me why that they're only asking $12 a square foot because it looks like my guess is the owner doesn't want to spend the money on the interior building it out. See, this one's already built out, but it's right at that elbow. So that will typically land for rest typically, and it's also built out like an office. So now I understand why the leases are less. But this is a good flyer. He did a good job designing the flyer. Let's look at what his other listings look like here. Where's my other? There it is. There's my Danny listings. Let's look at all for lease. Let's go from map back to gallery. So this is in a different part of Houston, but I'm just trying to explore the quality of his listing. This is a different shopping center. And also my building is a class B shopping center. So I want, and these are also what I'm seeing from Danny is also other class B shopping centers. So this is a good sign. So my instant gut is telling me that Danny might be a good candidate for my shopping center. But what's really going to seal the deal for me here is when I get on the phone with Danny. I'm going to get on the phone with Danny. I'm going to give him my address for my shopping center. I'm going, what do you recommend I lease these at? Now, I have numbers on my underwriting. Like I already budgeted out what I want to lease the space for. But I want to ask him. I want to get his feedback without any influence from me. What would you recommend I lease this building out for? How long do you think it's going to take to lease? Based on his knowledge of the area, what kind of tenants am I going to get in it? Where I start asking questions. Same thing if you're selling. I'm going to go back to the selling example. Let's say I'm selling a building. How much can I sell the building for? What kind of buyer should I be expecting for a building like this? How long is it going to take me to sell? All of these, and based on his answer to all these questions, I can tell whether he's a quality broker that actually knows what he's talking about, or just one of the many really low quality brokers that's just trying to make a paycheck. So yeah, he has a B class building here, Dollar General anchored. He has two spaces listing them for 27 bucks a square foot. Solid description, another flyer. The easiest way to weave out brokers is super low quality flyer, super low quality description. But no, he's done looks like this one's also listed by Matt NGO as well as Danny because the flyer has Matt on it. But no, they look like they do a good job. So I'm definitely going to give Danny a call, have a conversation with him, and see whether or not my gut is telling me he's going to do a good job for my plaza. Let's see who else we got. Let's go back to this listing here. Let's see who else we got. That's this building over here. Let's see who has these listings. See here we have two listings right here. Let's see who has this listing. This is a a C-class shopping center, not too far from my building. We have Tristan Day. I don't like it when they don't show rental rates. Um, let's see what else Tristan has. I'm gonna go to Tristan Day and I'm gonna type in his brokerage, Square Real Estate, and let's see what else Tristan has. Square Real Estate, and then his LoopNet listing should pop up. Now I'm doing this all for the first time in front of you guys, so if I can't find his LoopNet listing, there it is. Let's see what else for lease. Okay, so he has this building, this building. Okay, he has a handful of retail listings, some industrial listings, some new builds, a little bit all over the place. I usually prefer if they're just doing retail, but let's see where they are. Ooh, I like this. So Tristan's doing a lot of business in my part of Houston. The building I'm trying to lease is somewhere around where is this? Somewhere right here in North Houston. So he has a lot of listings right here. So that's a good sign for me. It means he knows who are the players in the area. He knows who are the people trying to lease. So this is the comp that I had pulled up. Let's see the quality of this listing. See, no description, no real description on the listing, no lease attached. It's kind of a lazy listing. So, but I'm still going to reach out to Tristan, see if maybe he'll allow me on the phone. I can ask him about some of the other spaces that he's leased in the area. Let's see what other listings Tristan. Maybe just this was a lower quality listing. Let's see what else he got. This one isn't actually too far from my shopping center either. Let's look at this 1,000 to 4,000 square feet. It looks like it's gas station anchored. Also, no rents. Also, a lazy listing. You have no flyers. My property's right around there, so it's very close. But you have no flyer, no description. It's to me this just screams lazy listing. Now I'll still call Tristan, give him an opportunity on the phone, but overall, I'm not too impressed. He have to really go above and beyond on the phone. See what else we got. We got these two down here. Now, this is definitely a busier area. This part of Houston right here is definitely a busier area, but let's see what this is. Looks like a newer build here. Why Max Wireless? What is this? I don't even think this is broker. This might be the owner trying to lease it, or a sub, or the tenant is trying to sublease. Let's see what we got here. I don't know if we're gonna find a LoopNet listing for this guy. Wireless LoopNet might have to be a bit more specific. Yeah, let's just try this. Yeah, see, I'm guessing this is either the landlord or it's one of the tenants trying to sublease the space they can no longer occupy. This looks like a brand new build, $25 a square foot triple net. But this person, whoever this is, they're not really a candidate. I'm not going to waste my time with them. So those are within that radius right here. But let's say, we could even go on a bigger radius. So my property's right there, and all of these are surrounding tenants. So this one right here, $18 a square foot. I'm looking to get about 20 at least for my building. This person is selling leasing at $18 a square foot, very close to my building. So you can see my building's right here. This building's right here. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so you have a C-class building. My building is a little bit newer, and because I'm also comparing rental rates, I want to make sure my rates are reasonable. I don't want to try to get $30 a square foot and then get mad at the broker that he can't lease it out. If I'm being unrealistic about lease rates, then no matter what broker I get, I'm not going to lease it. This is a great advertising page so far. Looks like he has a short description, but he spent the time to create a plan, or maybe the landlord provided it. Let's see what else we got here. Let's look at this flyer, good flyer. Show some of the demographics, show some of the surrounding retailers. I love that they actually put together a detailed plan of the shopping center, and then some market data. This is a great listing right here. Very close to my building. So I'm a fan. I'm probably going to give Cameron a call as well. Cameron here did some good work. Let's see what else Cameron has. What other listings Cameron has in the area? WLR. There it is. Cameron Free listings for lease. Looks like he has a healthy amount of shopping, mostly shopping centers. Look at that. Cameron has a lot of listings. I like Cameron. I accidentally zoomed in too much. How do I fix this? I don't know how to fix this. Let's refresh the page. Oh, beautiful. Oh, what's going on? All right. So we look at map. Cameron has a lot of listings in my neck of the woods. Looks like they're all over Houston. So the property I'm purchasing or that I purchased is right here somewhere. Yeah, right here. But Cameron has listings all up and down here. He's listing it at $18 square foot, so he's getting healthy rents. 18 bucks here. So yeah, I'm definitely giving Cameron a call. He has a healthy listing. Now, a lot of it has to, this is just my like original filtering out brokers. What I want to see is on the phone. I want to get them on the phone. I want to ask them about my building, what experience they have leasing buildings in the area, how much they think my building will lease for, how fast they think they'll lease it. And again, if you're selling the building, what other buildings in the area have you sold? How fast are you going to sell this? What listing price do you suggest I put? All that based on how they answer the questions. Those are all filtering criteria. And don't just filter by price. Don't go like, I want $1 million for my building. One agent told me he recommends listing it for $1 million. This is also a good opportunity for you to calibrate your list or lease price. If I got on the phone with all these brokers and they're telling me this thing should lease for $16 square foot, everyone's telling me 16, 15, and I want to lease it at 20, then that just means these local brokers likely know the market better than I do because I buy all around the country and they're actually local brokers that have leased and have listings in that area. So I want to ask them, hey, I see you have a listing here, not too far from my property. What kind of activity are you getting? What kind of tenants are you seeing? It's literally a broker interview. I'm interviewing them. Sometimes they'll give me a report of different leases they've done in the area, what the rents are for the area, and that's you got to be really picky with your broker because a bad broker can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, depending on what price point you're in. So making sure that you actually filter out the broker and you're very picky with them will maximize your lease or sales price on your asset. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a quick overview on how I talk to brokers. I'm gonna get off this recording here, and I'm gonna start calling these brokers, having a conversation with them, and seeing if there's a good fit. And then I'm gonna hire one to start leasing my shopping center. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff, and I will catch you guys on the next video.